Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, with some brand new injury news to discuss before the Las Vegas Raiders game up against the Green Bay Packers. So the big thing here is, with the injury report that was just released, the number one thing that every single Raider fan probably wants to know is who's going to be playing quarterback. Well, Josh McDaniels earlier in the week said that Garoppolo was trending in the right direction, and now on Friday he has officially been cleared. So what you're going to see is Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the Raiders' starting quarterback in this upcoming game against the Green Bay Packers. What I want to know right now down in the comment section is this: do you want Jimmy Garoppolo to be the Raiders' starting quarterback? I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to type your N for no down below. Okay, let's now go to the next thing here. We're going to go into some more details here around why exactly Jimmy Garoppolo got put in the concussion protocol in the first place. He missed last week's game against the Los Angeles Chargers, where Aiden O'Connell did have to end up getting the start. He said in that Week 3 game, remember that was Sunday Night Football, that after the game, the medical team came up to him and they must have seen something when he spoke to the media today, which literally just happened here. So I know that the concussion protocol can be kind of a weird thing overall, but they're always going to play it safe. I also think that the Raiders wanted to see what they potentially had in Aiden O'Connell, but after a poor performance by the rookie, Josh McDaniels is going to end up going back to Jimmy Garoppolo. If you want to make sure that you're always staying up to date with the latest news and rumors, I know this, my dog Chuck, he's not always in these videos, but when I got to film from home, hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. If you love Chuck, if you love dogs, click that subscribe button. If you want Josh McDaniels to get fired, click that subscribe button. If you always want to know what's going on around the Las Vegas Raiders, click that subscribe button. All right, let's keep on going through some other injury news and notes that we have to discuss here. I know there's two more players that I've been getting a lot of questions about. So let's first talk about Davante Adams. Davante Adams is dealing with a shoulder injury, which if you missed the Chargers game, he got hit. And it kind of looked like he was holding his wrist. I didn't know if he was holding his shoulder. Didn't know exactly what the injury was. And everyone panicked. I mean, you want to talk about a season going downhill real quick, especially when your offense stinks as bad as this Raiders offense stinks right now. You good? Sorry, y'all. Chuck, soon as I start filming anything, Chuck wants to play. And what's funny is where Chuck's sitting right now, I always joke because I got a picture of Graf where Graf is past the F out. Well, guess what? This is where Chuck always sits, Graf. Right there, where your head was, where you were totally passed out. All right, let's go back to Davante Adams, though, because once the injury happened, I got scared. A lot of Raider fans did, but the fact that he was able to come back into the game seemed like good news. He was unable to practice on Thursday. He was unable to practice on Friday. We'll see if he's able to go tomorrow. I know this. Davante is a competitive SOB, and he is one of the best in the freaking game. And you know that he's going to want to go up against his old team, the Green Bay Packers, and it's going to take everything in his power not to do it. From people who I've talked to, said that he's just resting. I do fully anticipate that you're going to see Davante Adams this upcoming game against the Packers on Monday Night Football. Let's talk about the defensive side of the football. The injury that I think is scaring some people still is Nate Hobbs. He was not able to participate in last week's game against the Chargers, and I still think that the Raiders were able to hold it down a little bit. Right now, Hobbs is dealing with an ankle injury, not able to participate Thursday, not able to participate on Friday. We'll see if he's able to go tomorrow for practice. If he is limited tomorrow, I do think that bodes well for his availability for Monday. If he's not able to practice tomorrow, to be honest, I think that the Raiders are going to try to plan that he's more than likely not going to end up playing, which if that's the case, then you're going to see a little bit more of Amik Robertson again, who got 59 snaps last week. And to be honest with y'all, I thought Amik played a pretty damn solid football game. Also, David Long Jr., thought he played okay too last week. He was limited today. He's been limited back-to-back days, also dealing with an ankle injury. More news here on the defensive side of the football. Malcolm Koonce, he was limited today. He was also limited on Thursday, dealing with a groin. Jakorian Bennet was limited today with a hand and shoulder. And, Josh McDaniels kind of spoke about Jakorian Bennet earlier in the week, where some people were like, well, why wasn't Jakorian playing as much against the Chargers? He's been battling a little bit of an injury. The Raiders decided to go with some more healthy players here instead of rolling out the rookie like they might have potentially done in the past, just because they do want to get him some more reps here. All right, let's go to one more guy here that we got to talk about. His name is Maxx Crosby. Maybe you've heard about him. He's a pretty damn good player, if you ask me. One of the best in the biz, and he also is just kind of limited with the knee injury. He battled it a little bit last week. He's going to be playing in this upcoming game. There's no doubt about it, and I can't wait to see what he's able to do against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Now, those were all the injury updates. There's no doubt about it, right? But one of the big storylines that people are going to be talking about here is going to be Josh McDaniels as the head coach, who is 0-2 on Monday Night Football, going up against the Green Bay Packers. And I know that Rich Bisaccia isn't the team's head coach, but he's a part of that special teams unit. And I know that there's going to be a lot of concentration around Bisaccia and Josh McDaniels. So my question to you is this: who's the better coach? Is it Josh McDaniels as the head coach, or is it Rich Bisaccia? I think I know where you guys are going to go, but hey, anything I can do to add fuel to this fire, McDaniels fire at this point, I think I'm also about it. I also dropped a video earlier today around Randy Gregory because had a lot of Raider fans asking me, Mitch, could the Raiders potentially sign Gregory? Remember, it was reported by Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, that the Denver Broncos were moving on from Gregory. They were going to release the defensive end after giving him a 5-year, $70 million deal this offseason. Well, here's the thing. It kind of, if you remember, if we're going to hop back in the time machine here a little bit, remember when the Raiders released Gabe Jackson? Remember when the Raiders released Rodney Hudson? Sometimes NFL teams just say, hey, we're letting this guy go, don't actually put in the paperwork, and then try to work on, end up getting a deal done. Well, today, Randy Gregory was traded to the San Francisco 49ers. So no deal ended up going down for the Denver Broncos in terms of cutting him. They were able to get a deal done. They ship him off to San Francisco, and honestly, I think it's a hell of a move for San Francisco. If there was a team that Randy Gregory could probably flourish on, it's probably the San Francisco 49ers. If you guys don't already know, you can always keep me up to, or I keep you guys up to date on social media, Instagram, Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365. I got Chuck here in the background. He's a little upset that you guys are stealing his limelight. If you want to follow Chuck on Instagram, it's Chuck the Pup. You see him all the time on my IG. I'm also starting to do a lot more stuff over on Cameo as well. So if you need me to sing happy birthday, you want to give a shout out to one of your friends, or I literally just got a request a few minutes ago. I got to rip on a Broncos fan. If you need me, and if you think, you know what, Mitchell Renz can deliver that information, I'm your guy, at Mitchell Renz 365, literally everywhere. So one more time here off the jump, the big injury news here is Jimmy Garoppolo. He's going to be playing Monday Night Football. He's going to be the Raiders starting quarterback over Aiden O'Connell, despite me trying to do what I could with the mustache. They're still going to roll with Jimmy G. Hopefully that this Raiders team can play a lot better. They need to play a lot better. The fact that the Chicago Bears won yesterday shows that, hey, anything's possible in the NFL. But as it stands right now, the Raiders would have the number 2 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. The Bears still have the number 1 pick because that's technically Carolina's pick, and then it's the Raiders. So all I know is this: you got to beat the Packers. You can beat the Patriots. You can beat the Bears. There's a realistic shot that the Raiders can go 4-3. But when Josh McDaniels is your head coach, it's probably also a realistic shot that you might lose all 3 of those games. So we'll see what ends up going down. All right, the next time that you guys are going to see me live, I'm going to be live on Sunday rooting against the Chiefs, rooting against the Denver Broncos, and we're going to be live on Sunday, and then we're going to be live on Monday for the game. So make sure you subscribe. We got a lot of watch parties going on. Again, unfortunately, my guy Chuck, he's not going to be there, which maybe we could figure out a way to get him into the studio sometime. I promised him that we'd go on a walk. Oh, wow, he didn't move at all. That's pretty good. He's really locked in. And now that's what I'm going to end up doing. So appreciate all y'all for making this far in the video. Hopefully all the Raiders that I mentioned, I anticipate Jakorian, Crosby, Koonce, David Long, all going to play. Jimmy Garoppolo will play. Davante Adams, I expect to play as well. Nate Hobbs is the only one there that's a little bit of up in the air. If you want Green Bay Packers practice report, Jair Alexander, he was limited today with a back injury. Zane Anderson did not participate. He's a safety. Linebacker Devondre Campbell did not participate with an ankle injury. Rudy Ford, oblique, was limited, but he's trending in the right direction. Elton Jenkins was limited. Aaron Jones was limited, but he's expected to play. Luke Musgrave, their tight end, he practiced in full. You got John Runyon at guard. He was limited, but trending in the right direction. Eric Stokes at corner, expected to play. Zach Tom, offensive lineman, limited, expected to play. Garrington Valentine, the rookie out of Kentucky at corner, he practiced in full. And that Christian Watson, expected to play as well at wide receiver despite him being limited. That's all the injury news that I got from Monday Night Football. Again, this is Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and I promise I'm always going to be your one-stop shop for everything going on around the silver and black. To make sure you don't miss anything, click the subscribe button right here. I promise you this, man. I got a commitment to excellence way better than Josh McDaniels, so click that so you never miss any content. If you want even more videos, you can click this button right here. It's going to direct you in the right spot. And then if you want even more videos, you can click this over here. Obviously, when I'm in the studio, I can do a lot more, but hey, I'm getting you videos every day.